Hey, Blake Williams here with Battles Tested, and this is story time number 47, Ceilings. When I was a young boy, and I was shorter than most kids growing up my age, I always wanted to try to jump and touch things that I thought maybe were beyond my reach. And so I found myself, maybe it started with a doorway, and I'm running through and trying to touch a doorway. And then once I learned, okay, I've got that doorway, I'm growing, I can jump higher, I can touch that doorway. Let me find a taller doorway. And so I'd find another taller doorway. And then maybe it became a spot on the wall above the doorway. And then maybe eventually it became the ceiling. Let me see if I can touch the ceiling. And in my house growing up, the hallway ceiling was shorter than the kitchen ceiling. So once I touched the hallway ceiling, well, then I got to try to touch the kitchen ceiling, which took more growth and more effort in trying to continually touch higher things. And I've seen it in my young boys as they were growing up as well. They would want to run through the house and try to jump and touch the ceiling. Not sure if it's a boy thing. Maybe girls have experienced it well. I haven't seen my girls doing much of that. They dance a lot around the house, but jumping up and touching that ceiling, reaching for those high heights that maybe we're not so sure we can, but we want to try to prove ourselves to see if we can do it. And I felt like something happens along the way. Maybe lots of things happen along the way. And all of a sudden now we stop reaching for the ceiling. And the ceiling, maybe instead of staying this highway goal that I'm trying to reach, maybe even it lowers some. And yeah, there's a ceiling here, and instead of me really having to reach up for me to reach up and touch it and to really strive to reach it, the ceiling's pretty low, and that's really as high as I can go. I can't go beyond that ceiling. Yeah, it's right there. I'm at my ceiling now. I've pretty much reached my capacity for physical fitness or advancement in my job, my position on my team and my sport. I'll never be that starter. I'll never be anything but a role player. I've reached my ceiling. We hear people talk about that in sports a lot. Somewhere along the way, we went from this being I think a generation when we were young of ceiling strivers, if you will, trying to reach up and be all that we can be and reach the highest heights that we can reach, to this generation as we get older of I just can't do that. And I know we go through things, right? We go through situations in our families or school, relationships, whatever, and we're told that perhaps we can't do that and we can't do this over here and you'll never achieve that. And do you know what kind of history you have in your family? You can't be that doctor, lawyer, whatever profession because of where you came from. And we begin to put these limits on ourselves. And it's almost like our ceiling that we expect from ourselves and maybe others expect, it just lowers. And we confine ourselves to having this short ceiling that maybe we feel, hey, we've already reached it. No way I can break through it to reach higher than that. It is what it is. I fully believe that the ceilings, the limits that we place on ourselves are always lower than what they should be, lower than what they can be. I fully believe that we can all achieve more in life than we expect that we can, and perhaps what others around us expect that we can. But have you tried hard enough to do it? Maybe you tried so hard and you got discouraged, like, I just can't break beyond that plateau, or that ceiling stops me every time. Have you really given it your all? Or have you just given so much where, once it started to get hard, you gave up, or once you failed a few times, you gave up. Once you were told no a few times, you gave up, and you just stopped striving for that higher ceiling. I guarantee you a higher ceiling is out there for you, for me. Are we willing to put in the work that it takes to reach that higher ceiling, to break through the limits that we've placed on ourselves and maybe that others have placed on us as well? I hope this week you'll join me in trying to break through that ceiling that we have, those ceilings perhaps we have in different areas of our lives, to be our absolute best and try to discover really what is our true potential. I hope you have a great week.